It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll get a look here at Josh Allen. He's your top dog in the league this season, ranking first in passing yards. It's the Texans and the Titans on Sunday night.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
Rodgers going to come out throwing. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have its hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. In early second and long they're facing. Now Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. Now it's Rodgers. Can't get away, and he's taken down. What a great job getting pressure here on the first drive. 3 plays and already 2 sacks.
And that pressure has been intense right from the beginning. And I'm telling you, if they don't make an adjustment in play calling and protection, it'll go from intense to relentless.
Taking it about the 16. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So here come the Texans now for their first drive. It's Josh Allen that'll be orchestrating the offense, a 6'5" quarterback from Wyoming.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
Half 85. Look out.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The numbers for him from a week ago: 11 carries, 104 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Allen off the play fake. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Titans offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. As we take a look at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns, he is right up there amongst the best in the NFL. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The numbers in last week's bowl game for Robinson: 17 carries, 75 yards.
They're coming off of back-to-back wins, and I think a lot of credit belongs to this guy right here, because to me, he's not only carried his weight, he's carried a few other guys along as well. He's helped draw defensive attention away.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Texans are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice, because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. You talk about this Titan defense. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one, because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
To throw, it's Allen. Complete here, it's Hyde. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Titans, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
25 yards that time.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Allen going to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away. A touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Look out.
Now Allen again. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Texans have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Being chased out left. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now. Titans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. He'll get this down to the 38.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 18. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On play action, Allen. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
To the air, Allen. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Now Allen. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 2. Allen now looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Lane, and he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Allen. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they're going to continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Tennessee offense set to go again. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate. And it's a fumble. And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half, so this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Able to shake him off. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
To throw is Rodgers. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Rodgers now to throw. Right side, he has Johnston. And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes third down and 7. On play action, Rodgers able to locate Andrews here on the out route. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. The Texans offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And just inside of a minute left, Charles, they got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Throwing now is Allen. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Allen to throw it. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked up by Christian Gonzalez. And the Titans are going to get the football here at their own 23. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. So we reach halftime and past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Texans offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's in the midst of an MVP caliber season. The NFL's leader in passing yards as he's up over 3,000 now on the year. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. And Xavier Worthy, 67 yards. And the Texans are able to add on to that lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 28-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
50.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Robinson up the middle. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 19. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Pass hauled in by Johnston. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
False start, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 2nd down.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Rodgers.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
What a stand there defensively. They force the 3rd and goal, force them into what they think will be a passing situation, and then they make sure to lock up all the receivers and come away with the interception. Sounds simple, but that was really well done.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
They'll run on 1st down. Lane. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
In my book, that's running the ball well
but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game, and with a lead.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. 50 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on... because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Throwing is Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Rodgers got to have this one. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he goes out of bounds and looks like right at the 50. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a play fake. Rodgers throwing the out route incomplete. That's Andrews. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw once more. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Rodgers going to throw. Got an open man. It's McLeod. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on fourth down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 9.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he's got his man on the out route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 44 yards. And the Texans add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touch.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. And he goes out right around the 39. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now it's Rodgers.
That's complete to his running back, Jefferson.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And he's got this down to the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down. Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. That's Webster. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Now Rodgers.
That's out wide here for Robinson. And the Titans are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
This is caught. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Here's Rodgers.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. That will bring up 4th down and an 11-yard loss to boot.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. That's to his running back, complete. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. But cannot push forward into the end zone. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah.